Hey, can y'all hear my music in the back? Just put a yes or a thumbs up in my comment section because I'm not hearing my music over here. I think I'm going to end this live and come back. But somebody let me know if you can hear my music that I have playing in the background. Just put a thumbs up or say yes. Let me know if you can hear my sound because I can't hear it and I don't like to hear it. If I can't hear it, I'm going to end the live. So if y'all can hear it, then it's cool. But let me know if you can hear this music or not. No, can you hear my sound? Do I got any music playing in the back? Can you hear my music that I got on? I got some instrumentals playing, but I don't hear them over here. But sometimes you all can still hear them. Can you hear the music? What's up, everybody? It is your girl, Midnight. You see that title. I just got to come here and vent on some work-related shit real quick. Because, see, some of these people be doing some shit on the low for real. Like, no, we're not going to be doing that one. We're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? Not that. You know what I'm saying? I got to come here and vent on some work-related shit. Cause what it pissed me off a little bit too. You know what I'm saying? It really did. It really did. Good morning, Midnight. Have a blessed day. Same to you, Miss Karen. Good morning. Now let me turn this off. I can't even hear my music in the back. I can't hear none of my instrumentals. Okay, let me stop the music though. So happy. It's TJIF Friday, right? It don't even feel like no motherfucking Friday for some reason. I don't understand, but it really don't. But happy TGIF Friday anyway. All right. So here we go. Now, you all, I got to say that I do love my job of where I work. I actually like what I do. So we're not going to get that wrong right there because I actually like what I do for work and where I work. But it is some things that employers do that really just like make a person say, huh? So where I work, you know, how we do scheduling there, you create your own schedule. So you make your own schedule. Not saying that when you do your schedule that all of the days you choose to work your shifts is going to be approved that you get those days. They allow you to put your days in. And then when it's time for them to review everybody's schedule, because you have to do your own. And if you don't, you get in trouble when you don't do it. You get in trouble when they have to do your schedule. That's what I do like about it. They allow you to self-schedule yourself. But even though you are doing that, that does not mean that you're necessarily going to get days that you schedule yourself to work, right? They still have to approve days of you working, okay? And they go based off of you know how many people is off or how many people haven't requested for vacation and stuff like that. So they go based off stuff like that, okay? Now, if you all don't know, we are in the month of May, so my anniversary is next month. My anniversary is next month. So when you do a schedule, and then one thing about it is that I also like about it is when you do self-schedule, they self-schedule you 3 months out. So in March, I want to say late February, beginning of March, you had to self-schedule your days for the month of April, May, and June. And it had to be done by the end of February. Okay. They do let you schedule your days and they do 3 months out. So at the end of February, first week of March, you have to have yourself self-scheduled for March, April, May, and June. And then they'll approve whatever days you most likely I get approved for every day that I choose to work. Okay. So my anniversary is next month. And I'm gonna keep that kind of shit in mind because who wants to work on their anniversary day? Who wants to be working? So of course, when I'm self-scheduling myself for the month of June, those few days that I want off, including my weekend, I'm gonna say no, I don't want to work. Okay, so I'm not gonna put myself on for work. All right. Now, when my schedule got fully approved, that was the case. They let me off, right? So my anniversary is June 27th. You know what I'm saying? The June 27th, which is a Friday this year. Um, I want to kick it on Friday. I want to kick it on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Okay. Going on my road trip. You know what I'm saying? Not too far, but still out of Wisconsin. You know what I'm saying? Still out of Wisconsin. As a matter of fact, the place that I'll be in tomorrow was where I'm going, which is Chicago. I'm going to Chicago. I work tonight. And soon as I get the fuck off work, come Saturday morning, I come home, get ready. I'm going to Chicago for a party. So I'll be in Chicago tomorrow. Chicago was the area that I was looking to go to for my anniversary as well. My daughter go to Chicago damn near every weekend or every other weekend. And she had hit some nice spots there in Chicago. Said, Ma, you need to try XYZ, try XYZ, and try XYZ. I say, bet. Because Chicago was where I was going to go for my anniversary. I'll be in Chicago tomorrow, though. You know what I'm saying? I'll be in Chicago tomorrow. So, okay, bet. I did my schedule. Got my days off for my anniversary now. This is what they did. They approved my days off, right? So I'm thinking, okay, everything's sweet. My husband and got his days approved off too. I'm thinking we both good at this point. So I don't know why jobs do this as if, I'm not a motherfucker that regularly look at my schedule, although I do know what days I work and I can rememberize what days I work and what days I'm supposed to show up, when I don't supposed to show up. I don't know what makes them think that somebody don't look at their schedule on a regular tip. I'm one of them because I know things like this occur. This is why I like to regularly look at my schedule when I'm there every day, because just in case if you thought you were going to try to pull something, I look at my schedule. I know when I'm supposed to be off and I know when I'm supposed to be there. Good morning, Miss Melissa. Good morning, Miss Jackie. Good morning, Miss Don. I know when I'm supposed to be there. See, that's why I pay attention to my schedule, because you're not going to be able to make no changes with my schedule without me knowing. You know what I'm saying? So I look at my schedule every day. So just so happened last night, you know what I'm saying, when I looked at my schedule, I noticed that they put me back on for the days they originally gave me off, which was my anniversary days. And I said, "Oh, hold the fuck up, wait a minute." I said, "Oh, hold the hell on, wait a minute. Why did they put me back on the schedule for these days?" So you know what I did? I emailed the bosses and CC'd who I need to CC on this email and sent it to them. Like, nah, I see that y'all got me on for XYZ days that y'all originally gave me off for. I'm not gonna be able to work these days. Now, however, if you do need somebody to work additional days, you could give me 2 additional days, but these days it's not absolutely gonna work. Okay. So you know what they say to me, and this is why I complain about the people that I work with. Cause see, one thing I don't understand about people, when you have a good job, a good paying job, one thing I don't understand about people with a good paying job is why the fuck don't you show up for work? That's the main problem at this place. Very great environment. I don't know what the pay is for everybody. I can't say everybody is at my quality of pay. Everybody don't have my level of experience. Everybody don't have my level of accolades. Everybody just ain't there with me. So we all don't make the same. I'm not gonna say that, but I know what they start you off with, which is very good money. So still at the end of the day, you making money. See, the females that I work with, they don't like to come to work. And see, this been a problem on this unit since I've been there. And this has been something that I've noticed for a while, that they don't like to show up for work. So my response yesterday that I got from them, "Good morning, Miss Alicia." My response was this: "Oh well, Sheila, we may be short staffed and we may need you in the building, and I'm afraid we're gonna have to put you back on." I said, "Well, do the email." I said, "Well, you know that I already have plans where money have been pocketed and spent as it pertains to what I'm going to do for my anniversary. So you know that this is going to be a call in if I can't find nobody to switch days with me. Don't you know that?" I said, "I hope y'all know that. I hope you do know that, because it's still, I'm going to be calling off." Okay. Because see, just because people choose not to show up for work and y'all short staff, hey, listen, y'all been having this problem for a long time. And y'all know that. Y'all been having this for a long time. Them girls don't like showing up for work for some reason. They like doing no call, no shows. And for some apparent reason, they still have their job. They still come to work. You still see them in the next week or the week after that. And I'm just like, how? When they call in so many different days out of the week, I'm talking about back to back. This is not like spread it out. You know how shit happen in life. It's not spread it out. These motherfucking people call in back to back. They don't show up for work. They do call ins. They do no shows. They still got jobs, but you gonna put me back on the schedule because these folks and y'all may be short staffed. I said, well, that sounds like a problem that y'all gonna have to handle. Because at the end of the day, I'm still gonna call off for my anniversary. I'm calling off. And so since I had them, and so as when I came in, they all were there. They all were there. Both of the bosses came in this morning. So I stopped them. I went in there and talked to them about it. Like, listen, since we in here, let me just go ahead on and run it all down to y'all about what I'm seeing. Go on up here. Let me just run it all down to you now. I said, first off, I have already have obligations. Like I said, I have plans already. I have obligations already. I have money in place for this day already for these days. Listen, I had to tell them right up front, like I did. If nobody is gonna switch with me and I can't find nobody to give me a shift of their choice to work these days, I'm still calling in. I'm calling off. Because see, this shit is already pre-planned. It's already been planned. Okay. And you ain't gonna be able to just tell me. And when was y'all gonna tell me that y'all put me back on the schedule? What if I had not even looked at my own schedule to see? This is why I pay attention to shit like that. Was y'all gonna tell me, oh Sheila, the days that we gave you off and the days that we said that you were off for, we had to put you back on because we may be short staffed. Were you gonna tell me that? If I hadn't seen my schedule, nobody wasn't gonna mention that to me. But this is why I look at my schedule every day for the reasons of that nature. What's going on, sis? Happy Friday. What's going on, sis? And right, and exactly, Miss Alicia. Fuck they talking about? But this is for my anniversary. For Mother's Day, I'll be back at home enjoying my Mother's Day, but I will be in Chicago tomorrow for a party. And I was gonna go to Chicago for my birthday. I mean, for our anniversary. That's where we was gonna go. You know what I'm saying? It's Mother's Day weekend. What? Okay. Happy Mother's Day, sis. Yeah, happy Mother's Day to all y'all mothers. Every mother in the place to be. Yeah. I'm salty. I'm mad as I'm salty. Do y'all know when my shift was over? When my shift was over, I went in that damn office with them bosses, and they was like, "Oh yeah, Sheila, this is what they were," because they seen me looking very serious, right? They said, "Oh yeah, Sheila, I feel your frustration, and I definitely see it." No, this is not a fucking joke. This is not a joke. This is not a laughing fucking matter. This is not a motherfucking joke. Listen, if I can't find nobody to cover that shit for them days, guess what? I'm gonna be calling off. Cause see, y'all, that's what I'm talking about. Y'all trying to pull a rule over Sheila head right now doing that. Y'all thought I wasn't gonna look at my schedule. Y'all thought I wasn't gonna see that y'all actually put me back on days for that month that y'all had already told me I have off. And you threw me back on because y'all see what y'all dealing with right now in the worst way. Y'all dealing with people who do not want to show up for work, which I don't understand for the life of me, which I do not get for the life of me. And that's pretty much any and everywhere. That's pretty anywhere, any and everywhere. Somebody who work, you got people, especially in the field that I'm in, you got people that don't want to show up for work, and I just don't get it. Now I understand a lot of these girls and people go through life situations. Yeah, that happens. Emergencies happens and stuff like that. But for a person who calls off back to back within the same week, that's a problem. And y'all see the problem because everybody else see it. Surely you can't tell me that you don't see it if everybody else see it. So since I had their ass in the office this morning, chopping it up real good, I was chopping it up with them. So I made my husband late this morning. He calling me like, "Where you at?" I said, "Oh, I'm leaving now." I had to get them all off in the aisle. I said, "I'm pissed." They didn't put me back up on the schedule for our anniversary. I said, I'm calling off. Oh, I'm calling off, right? I'm calling out. Because, see, we both had our stuff already set in stone. Both of us had the days already off. My husband been did that. I been did that. They gave it to me at first. Now, because they going through all of this stuff with these people not showing up, now they throwing me back on because they feel like, oh well, Sheila, we may need you because we gonna be a little short-handed. Listen, that sounds like another motherfucking issue. That don't sound like something that has anything to do with me. That sounds like another motherfucking problem to me. Sis said I just celebrated my 18-year anniversary May 5th. On what, sis? Happy belated anniversary, sis. Happy belated anniversary. 18 years. Wow. That's a blessing, sis, right there. That's a blessing. Happy belated anniversary. It's not too belated, but what's today? The 9th? But happy belated anniversary. Mine's coming up, and it's my 5 year. Me and my husband gonna be married for 5 years. Baby, I don't work on no motherfucking body job on my anniversary. It's a couple motherfucking days that I don't work. I usually don't even work on my mom's death day. You know what I'm saying? My mom's death anniversary, which is also in fucking June. But I said, hey, I can work that. You know what I'm saying? June 9th. I usually don't even work the motherfucking days. Okay. I don't work on my birthday. Okay. It's a couple of days that I always be requesting off for. It's a couple of things. You know what I'm saying? And now, since I'm back in the field of what I do, I'm not really doing case management full time now. Because with case management, a lot of those weekends were available. So if holidays fell on weekends, I didn't have to worry about that because I was Monday through Friday. But now that I'm back into nursing full time, I also got to think about the holidays because, see, you do have to work holidays in rotation when you do this. Okay, so listen, I don't work my birthday. I don't work my husband's birthday. I usually do not work on my mother's death anniversary date. I usually do not work my anniversary. Okay. And with holidays, I don't mind working that because I don't want to miss that good holiday pay. And then I work nights anyway. So, okay, go figure. I don't give a fuck what holiday I work. I still got all day to do what I want to do with my family and spend time with my people. I work at nights when the day is damn near over with. Okay. I go in when the day is an hour shy from being over with. You understand me? So I'm still finna get my whole day to do what I want to do. This is why I work nights. That's exactly why I like nights. Okay. I get to still do what I want to do, hang out and do what I want to do, still can cook and do things like that of those natures and still be able to go to work. That's exactly why I do it. Tell them to get somebody else to do it. Listen, they gonna have to find somebody to do it because I'm gonna be forcing them to do it. I'm gonna be forcing them to do that because I'm calling off. It just be like how you thought that I wasn't gonna see that. How you thought that I wasn't gonna see that you put me back on some shit that you had gave me off, and then gonna say, well, we're gonna be shorthanded. I think we're gonna need to have you in the building, and what you can do is try to find someone to switch with you. Okay, yep, I'm gonna do that, but granted though, if I don't find nobody to switch with me, it's still gonna be ring a ling a ling a ling a ling a ling a ling. Oh, I'm calling in for the night. Okay, bye bye. Click. It's still gonna be that. I'm still gonna be doing that. Midnight. Did you did you fill out the paper for them days off and did they approve the days on that paper? We don't do slips. See, when we do our schedule, all of that is right there in there. So whatever days that you want off, they have you creating your schedule. They have a request days off. You do all of that on the computer. So all of that was already done where they told me, yeah, I went on the schedule. I went on the schedule. We do all this shit by computer. All of it is done by the computer. They don't do paper, nothing. When you have to go in and do your schedule, that's done electronically. When you request days off, that's even done in the same software that you create your schedule electronically. Y'all not finna tell me that y'all can't honor what y'all had said that y'all was gonna honor out the gate because of y'all staff. Now, yes, staff there is a problem. I don't know what's the fuck the problem is with them girls. Why they don't like coming to work? I don't know if they got some personal things going on. It's gotta be. I'm talking about this shit gotta be heavy duty, or unless y'all just running up behind motherfucking low life niggas. I don't know what the fuck it is. But first it was tax season. Oh, the motherfuckers weren't showing up. They weren't showing up for work. Then when they do show up, they half working. You know what I'm saying? They damn near halfway doing their job. They half working. So tax season was really big with call-ins and shit like that, with people not showing up. Now you got tax season come, and that's damn near over with. So now the weather is breaking, and we ain't even at the summer season yet. But see, we've been breaking into some good weather for spring, and so see that causes people to call off too. We hadn't even met the summer, and that's coming soon. So I can only imagine what that's gonna look like. Where we got all of the festivities going on in the city. It's going to be nice. Everybody going to want to be outside. Nobody's going to want to fucking work. You work at the end of the day. You work at the end of the day. Your ass still can kick it if you want to. You work at the end of the night. Why is it so hard for you motherfuckers to come in here when you work at the end of the night? I don't get that. Don't y'all not like motherfucking greenery or money? You motherfuckers can't do shit at the motherfucking festivals watching other motherfucking people eat because you ain't got a buck. Oh, you ain't finna enjoy none of them motherfucking rides because you gotta watch everybody else ride them bitches and you just looking dumb because you ain't got no motherfucking dollar. But if you had your ass off at work like you supposed to be, you might have a dollar or two to go do what the fuck you want to do. But see, you know what you got to do to get the green? You got to come to work. The fuck you doing? Start there. You motherfuckers got to start coming in. Motherfuckers is tired of you motherfuckers calling left and right off. And like I said, when you motherfuckers do present yourself there, y'all have word. So since I was in the office chopping it up good with the bosses, because I had a nice little chop up game with them this morning. Like I said, so good I lost track of time. And my husband was late for work. Because I had to have an understanding. What you mean? What you mean? How is that something that's a problem of mine? How is that a problem of mine? Because these motherfucking people. I said, aren't y'all doing some more hiring? She said, yeah, Sheila, we just hired you guys some help for the night shift. Hopefully these people work out. I hope so too. Because I said, don't y'all know that our shift worked the shortest every time? I said, listen, the way y'all staff, y'all day shift people, they work with 5. Shit, they short when they working with 4 because somebody didn't call it off, but y'all staffing them with 5 people. PMs get the same type of staffing. So they work with 5. We'd be lucky if we get 3. How was that? when just as many people is on the unit for days and PMs, they still there at night. But those two shifts are staffed better. Again, a lot of people don't like to work third. I don't understand. You guys need to get your mind together because third shift is where the real coin is at. Third shift is where the real coin is at. Okay, first of all, let me put that out there. A lot of people don't like doing that kind of shift, and I understand for y'all that got small children, you can't do it, or for whatever reason you can't do it or choose not to do it. But I'm gonna just tell you like this: first shift don't get no incentives, no differential. PMs definitely get it because I always been had a love for PMs. That's why when I pick up on PMs into nights. Okay, and I work nights. But night shift is where the real coin, where the real bag is at. Okay. It's night shift for me. That's where the real bag at. How you doing, Miss Donna? Miss Suddenly? Night shift is where the real coin is at. So since I had them and we politicking, because I sure sat down, made myself comfortable. Like, well, let me just run it down to you on everything. I said, personally, me, I'm not bothered by heavy work or a heavy line of work. I've been in some of the worst slumps of the slumps, and I've been in some of the worst places and still was able to do the work. So this is not heavy to me. It's not heavy to me at all. But I am going to tell you what makes things a little bit harder. First off, y'all can't seem to keep y'all staff in here to come to work. That's a problem. And that's not even something that y'all can control because that's not y'all fault that these people choose not to come in. But that's a problem that the unit is having, right? That's first. I said secondly, you got some girls that come in here that really just don't do their job. See, they feel like this is very smooth to them. And you know why? It's because they don't come in here and do their job fully. Fully, they don't come in here and do their job. So that means they don't turn people that need to be turned. They don't answer their lights in a timely manner. They don't get their vitals on time. Ask any of those nurses if they have to come find me and ask me, did I get a blood sugar? Or did I get somebody's vitals at this time because they do at this time? Or how long that person been waiting to go to the bathroom and waiting for somebody to come. They don't have to ask me shit like that. See, some of them girls, they have to hunt down and ask them kind of shit like that kind of shit like that. See, they don't do their job. See, they horsing around. They like to go hide, stay gone for long periods of time to where charge nurses is looking for them. They nurses that they also assign to with patients is looking for them. These people don't have to ask these nurses if they have to do that shit with me. Ask them that. They're going to say, yeah, no. I'm too descriptive with how I chart. I'm very descriptive, been told that my entire life, and I know it's real. That's just the way I do shit. So when people come in here and say, oh, well, it's smooth to me. I mean, I ain't really doing shit. You really not doing nothing. That's because you come in here and you not doing nothing. For real. You not coming in here doing your job. See, that's why a lazy motherfucker will think like that. When you work with lazy people and they just come to work and they basically sitting on their tails all day, they feel like what they do is easy peasy because you really not truly doing your job fully. When your shit going off and they can't find you because you didn't ducked off somewhere and you stayed gone too long, they have to come and ask another motherfucking person that they see, can you go service that person because the other person is nowhere in sight. That's been going on. Let me tell y'all that. They say, oh yeah, well, Sheila, we've been hearing that and we're handling that. Of course, we can't tell you what we're doing with those people. I said, I know you can't, but that's a problem. I said, let me run down another problem to you too. Since we're talking, I said, your nurses, your registered nurses, that is, okay? Because NAs get treated like nurses as well. I said, your registered nurses that's also assigned to a patient with me, They're responsible for the patient just as much as I am. So why the hell would they be doing shit like this? And I told them, I said, why the hell will nurses hunt a NA down if a patient asks them, can they have a refreshing ice water cup? Why can't that nurse go actually take their butt to the room, the kitchenette area where our ice machine and the refrigerator is? Why can't they go there, fill up, get a nice refreshing cup of ice water for a patient and take it to him or her? Why do they look for NAs to do shit like that? Why do they look for NAs to go in a person's room to check a blood sugar level when you're standing right there and you can do it? Why do you look for NAs to assist some supervise, really? Supervise, meaning you're not touching them, you're not assisting them because they able body. They only hooked up to all of that shit. So you have to watch them go in the bathroom. Why you can't do it? Why do you run and hunt down NAs to do shit like that that y'all can do because you're also assigned to the patient? You're also just as much as responsible for the patient. Why, when NA asks them, oh, I need you to assist me with such and such because such and such is a much heavier type of patient and they need help repositioning and moving that patient, why they always busy, but then when you walk past them, they all sitting right in that area. Just ha 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 ha. Why they doing that? Why they doing that? Your nurses is not supposed to be doing that. Nurses are assigned to a patient just like an NA is. So why do they hunt down NAs to do simple-minded tasks like that? That's something that they can do. I said that's what a lot of your nurses do. I said, let me run down the ones that's not included in it so you can get an understanding of what I'm saying. I'm gonna give you a handful of names that are great nurses that I don't mind working with. But see, the ones that I don't name off, you can almost figure that those are people who are very much so lazy. They feel like their job just detail giving medication, putting in IVs, and doing paperwork electronically. No, the fuck it don't. No, the fuck it don't. That's not just what your motherfucking job consists of. No, it's not. You are supposed to assist NAs. And you damn sure shouldn't be hunting no NA down to give somebody some ice water, a cup of ice water. You damn sure you shouldn't be hunting no NA down to check no blood level, a blood sugar. You damn sure should not be hunting no NA down if you're standing right in the room and they say, oh, I need to go to the bathroom. So that means you need to unplug all that shit that they're hooked up to and watch them go in there. You're not doing shit for them. They able body. But since they got all this equipment on here, you have to just make sure that they're not tripping over that shit. Why you hunting down NAs for that when you can do it? Me and my husband married 14 years tomorrow. Oh, snap. Happy anniversary, Miss Donna. That's a good long time too. Why y'all doing? I said, that's the kind of stuff that they do. I said, yeah, I'm gonna let you know. Do you hear that? I said, one thing I need y'all to know is that, see, one thing I do is talk to my colleagues and we do discuss this and the nurses hear it. They hear us talking about that. They hear us talking about that. That's a problem. I said, that makes somebody's job harder when they feel like, the people that they work around and the nurses is of no help. Because if you work in healthcare, that teamwork makes the dream work when you work in healthcare. I feel like when you work in any occupation of a field, if you got togetherness in your occupation and at your job with your colleagues, it's going to make your day smoother and theirs. And it's going to benefit the patient. But if you ain't got no teamwork up in that motherfucker and they feel like they can just tell the NAs to do anything simple-minded shit like that when you can do it, and you're not doing shit else. And I'm seeing you go right back to your hook area only to be chopping it up, talking. You could have done that when you seen that I'm busy doing something else. We not superheroes. We don't have magical motherfucking capes on. We don't fly on motherfucking magic carpets. We can't be in two places at one motherfucking time. Are you kidding me? Miss Donna says happy Mother's Day to everybody. Are you fucking kidding me though? Family emergency. I just slipped on that. Oh shit. Sister slipped on the pain. Hell no. Okay, sis. I feel you on that. Thank you, Miss Donna. I'm just like, what the fuck wrong with them nurses? I said, yeah, they gotta do better. I said, because you know one thing about it is, see, this is why I learned that a lot of people don't stay in environments like this. It has nothing to do with just this environment. It's everywhere. But that's why people don't stay. That's why people don't stay. They feel overworked. Everybody wishing sis happy anniversary. They feel overworked. Uh-uh. Girl, I told them I'm still calling the hell off. They ain't got nothing to do with me. I said I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to find somebody to switch these days with me. But if I can't find nobody to switch these days with me, because y'all didn't put me on here, it's gonna be a ching-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Oh yeah, this is Sheila. I can't make it tonight. Bye bye. Just like that. Just like that. It's gonna be just like that. You ain't gotta give them motherfuckers no reason as to why you calling in. Don't y'all know that? For you motherfucking working people. Cause some of y'all think y'all gotta give them motherfuckers an explanation as to why the fuck you call in. No, the fuck you don't. They don't need to know your business to that extent. Okay. Now, if you're sick and you're gonna be out for weeks at a time, yeah, you got to tell them some shit like that because you gonna want to collect that short term disability or whatever they giving you, or a long term disability. But when you just call, they don't need to know that. They don't need to know stuff like that when you call off. But to put me on when you have me off is beyond me. And I'm just like, if I didn't look at my schedule regularly the way that I do or frequently like I do, I wouldn't even known that. So then guess what? I would have never showed up because it would have been in my mind. I would have thought that I had those days off. Little Lord and behold, they had threw me back on and me not knowing. They like money, sis. Don't know how to stack it. They get a little money and quit the hustle. Man, that's sad though, sis. I like money too much for that. Then on top of that, I be picking up for you motherfuckers all the time. I pick up for y'all too much for that. But I said, listen, good morning, Miss Ebony. It's still gonna be that. I'm still gonna have my anniversary and celebrate it the way I want. I can guarantee you that. And still may even go to Chicago because I'm going to Chicago tomorrow. Well, I'm not staying in Chicago overnight, but I'm going to Chicago for a party. And see, for my anniversary, it was a more of a trip. With we were inviting friends. We were inviting friends too. You know what I'm saying? So that was where I was gonna go. Hit up a nice, they got a lot of nice like jazz lounges out that way that I was told about. Um, they got some eateries out there that I wanted to try. So I'm still gonna be in Chicago. I'm gonna be in Chicago tomorrow, and I'm still gonna possibly go to Chicago for one day on my anniversary. That's right next door to me. Chicago ain't nothing but 2 hours for me. I could literally drive to Chicago right now and be back. You know what I'm saying? But shit, I was trying to actually spend a few days there so I can do what the fuck I wanted to do there. and still gonna do it because shit, it's just like I'm still gonna do that for that day, but it's just like you motherfuckers ain't finna keep on doing this because these motherfucking people don't know how to show up. Do your job, go by seniority. They do in so many ways. They do. That's why they do go by seniority, Miss Jackie, because like I said, the days that I choose to work, the days that I put in on my schedule, they always approve my days. It's not ever a denial. And yes, I've been with this hospital since 2018. Okay. This is a hospital I used to work for. I went back to for the nosy ones. This is a motherfucking hospital I worked for in 2018. And when I left there, I went back there. Okay. So that shows you where my work ethics are anyway. I will rehire. You understand me? I'm a re motherfucking hire. You can't be no rehire if you ain't got no motherfucking good motherfucking rap sheet with the motherfucking gig with the organization. If your ass don't do your job properly with the organization, if your ass got fucked up attendance, they not rehiring your ass back. If your ass got poor work performance, they not definitely giving you a chance back. No. I got started in 2018. I left in 22, went back in 24. Okay. So I definitely like where I'm at. And like I said, great, great coins. You know what I'm saying? Good coins. I can't deny that. I ain't even taken away from that. This is why I show up every motherfucking time I need to show up. Hell, why the fuck not am I not showing the fuck up? Why would I not show the fuck up? They some pure goofies to me for the reason whatever that is why they choose not to show the fuck up, but okay. For all I know, it's gonna be some okey dokes pull on a couple of you motherfuckers because it seemed like they did some hiring. So some of y'all finna be cleaned house and cleaned the fuck out. I guess that's what they call themselves doing. And that's probably best that they need to do. Because if y'all don't fix the situation, what y'all only gonna do is run away actual good employees that y'all got. They're not gonna want to stay. They're not gonna want to stay with so many of these same issues not being corrected. I mean, they're not. They're not gonna want to stay. But it's just okay. Damn, I'm salty. Oh wow, y'all put me back on. And when was somebody gonna even send me an email or tell me verbatim, verbally, like, oh Sheila, I know that we did tell you that you can have those days off, but we may need you to be back on for them days due to what we are dealing with when it comes to attendance. When was somebody gonna tell me that? Besides me looking and actually seeing this shit for myself and actually approaching y'all about it. Because see, if I didn't look at my schedule for these duration of days, because like I said, I do remember my schedule very well. I created, I pick my schedule. And like I said, whenever I do my days, I get always granted every day that I choose to go in and work. So just so happened, what if I didn't look at my schedule and I just did not show up? That would have been looked at as a no call, no show. Because I wouldn't have showed up on those days thinking that, okay, they gave me those days off, but y'all really had me on. Y'all really had me on the schedule. So it would have looked like a no call, no show if I didn't show up and wouldn't have showed up and I would have been in Chicago. I wasn't going to show up because I would have been in Chicago. Hell, I'm going to Chicago tomorrow. I work tonight. I'm going to get off tonight and going to Chicago tomorrow. I'm going to sleep in the car. Yeah, I'm going to Chicago tomorrow. I'm going for a party. And I'm going to be up in motherfucking Chicago in June. Like I said, shit, that ain't nowhere for me. Shit. Do you understand that that's like driving to motherfucking Not even Minnesota, because Minnesota, that's like going to motherfucking Racine. That's like going to Racine or some shit like that. Kenosha, Waukegan, some shit like that. Baby, no. Y'all got to do better. And I hope, like what they were telling me today, assuring me, because they know I'm a great worker. Both of my bosses, I like them too. They damn sure people that listen. That's what I like about them. I said I'm so glad they came in early this morning because usually my bosses is not there when I leave. They don't really come in until what 9. I'm already gone. I leave at 7:30. On a good day, I walk out of there at 7:30. If I'm waiting on somebody who's late, I may not get out of there till 7:45. But on a good day where everybody show up on time, whether everybody showed the fuck up, I'm talking about the people I got to give my report to, my handoff to. As long as I didn't gave my handoff to these people, I'm gone at 7:30 on a good day. I said I'm so glad they was in here early this morning because I wanted to talk to them about that because it kind of like blew my shit back a little bit. Like, okay, why would y'all put me back on when y'all told me that I can have these days off? Why would y'all do that? And I understand y'all be short staffed, but listen, I don't feel like that's something that I should be punished for. Y'all putting me back on the schedule for that because these people don't show up for work. That y'all not giving me my days that I request off that y'all once gave me. Now y'all telling me that I gotta work. I don't. That's not fair because these people don't come to work. Thank you for the share. It be that for me. Those are work chronicles. The shit you deal with at work. And for them lazy nurses, I bet if the state comes, they working like they working so damn hard. Baby, you know that's the truth. Mm-hmm. It be that for me. Like I told my bosses, like, listen, they actually hunting us down for giving somebody water. I'm talking about some shit that they can do. You not busy because shit. By the time it took you to hunt me down to say, oh, can you go give such and such some water because you just left them and they asked you for this water, right? Why you didn't go do it? You go hunt me down. I go do it. Come back and I see your ass sitting down. Why the fuck you couldn't do it? It be that kind of shit for me. Cause you just as responsible for the patients just like I am. Hell, because if you was just in there and one of them, you turned your back on them and then you laughing and one of them fell, who that falls on, you're not gonna blame that on the motherfucking NA. You're not gonna blame that on the motherfucking NA when you was the last motherfucker had eyeballs on that patient, right? You're not gonna put that shit on no NA. But because you think you so busy or you so much in a rush or you just lazy as all get up, you go run look for the NA that's scheduled to that patient with your ass. And you could have just really did that. It'd be that kind of shit for me. That's what I told them. And they did assure me that it was going to be rectified. Trust me. Oh, I think that. They did assure me that that shit was going to be rectified, that they was going to make sure they bring that to them people attention because I gave them names to all of the ones that is a blessing to work with. I gave them the names too. I said, let me just name the ones that's very good at what he or she do. And then you can have a better picture of what I'm saying on the ones who don't. She said, okay, Sheila. I start naming them down. So now you know the ones I did not call out by name. Those are some of the ones who they iffy, they mediocre, they not really there. How you doing, Miss Lauren? They not there. It be that for me. She says, "Good morning, everybody. Miss Camille, how you doing, honey?" It don't even feel like no Friday to me for some reason. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm kind of irritated, kind of salty. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of salty. I told my husband, man, I'm sorry. I said, I am so sorry I made you late because I was talking to people. I was talking to them folks. I said, but do you know shit? We may not even be able to spend 4 days in Chicago like we planned because them people talking about I gotta work. They put me back on the schedule talking about it's because they short staffed. But they ain't got nothing to do with me. They ain't got shit to do with me. Cause them folks don't, cause shit, that ain't gonna stop the motherfucking issue. Y'all gotta do something about them people. Like I said, they call in shit out of the week. I don't man, some of them motherfucking girls do call-ins like 2 to 3 times in the same week. And then you see these motherfuckers next week, like, oh wow, how the fuck do they still have a job when they did a no call, no show? Because shit, you try to call them, tell them they on the schedule tonight, and they not picking up their phone. They not responding to your phone call. They not responding by giving you a call back saying that, oh, I may have overslept or I'm just not coming. The motherfuckers just disregard y'all altogether. And now we stuck like Chuck working short. And then you see these same motherfuckers next week. Like, what? How the fuck those kind of individuals still got a job? How they still even have a job doing shit like that? I'm talking about in 1 week. And repeatedly do it. And like I said, wait till this summertime come around. It's just gonna be horrible. Because like I said, if it's one thing, a lot of things go down in the city of Milwaukee, and we have a lot of shit go down anyway. But it's a lot of shit to do in the summer. It's a lot of shit to do in the summertime. But motherfucker, what you gonna do with no money? What you gonna do with no money? Where you going with no money? What you finna engage in with no motherfucking money? Are you one of them motherfuckers that just gotta be hanging around a motherfucker with the money because your ass ain't got no money? But if your ass brought your ass to work regularly, like you're supposed to, you will have some money. You will have some motherfucking dividends. And then, like I said, you work at night. You work when the day over. What's going on, sis? Good morning. You got all day. You work practically 1 hour short of the day being gone. So you mean to tell me that you still ain't gonna be able to do what the fuck it is you want to do? Go to whatever fairs you want to go to, do what you want to do when you work towards the end of the day. You work at the end of the motherfucking day. And it's still hard for you motherfucking girls to get up in here and come to work. What's wrong with y'all? That's a problem. That's a whole problem. That's sad and pathetic. They need to do something. Now talking about you need to work, you need to work. You're always there. Why can't they do they effing job? Okay, and then I pick up so much for them people like, girl. I said, I'm still gonna continue to pick up. I'm still gonna continue to pick up because I like money. I'm sorry. I like the money. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I like the money. I like the fucking money. The topic is this: lazy motherfuckers on your job. How motherfuckers work lazy on the job. That's the topic, sir. And how jobs be damn near try to play you. You know what I'm saying? Like a fiddle, playing you like a flute. Cause see, this is what happens. See, you know my anniversary next month. Me and D had plans on going to Chicago and spend like 4 days there. The same days we spent in Minnesota, we were going to spend in Chicago, right? Because it's a few places I want to check out there. They got nice lounges out there, you know what I'm saying? Nice live bands and music and grown folks lounges. You know what I'm saying? They got that kind of shit out there in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? A lot of festivities in Chicago. We didn't already look the shit up. So I already done had the plans. So I'm like, okay, we both had our days off, you know what I'm saying? Because we both gonna spend Friday. Our anniversary is on Friday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We come back Monday. That's what the plan was. He had his days off. I had got my days granted off because I didn't schedule myself for them days. My schedule been approved. So I'm thinking, okay, everything is cool. But I look at my schedule every day when I'm there. And I do it for these reasons. This is why I do that. Because see, sometimes jobs be trying to pull a wool over your eyes. They'll try to, you were off on this day, and then they'll fuck around and put you on. And when you don't show the fuck up, it look like you did a no call, no show. No, y'all had me off. No, I had myself off because I didn't even choose to work those days. So I learned that when I look at my schedule last night, I said, oh, hold on. They put me on for June 27th and the 28th. I was already off the 29th and the 30th. I said they put me back on for them 2 days. So I emailed the bosses. Like, I see that, you guys have put me back on the schedule for the 27th of June and 28th. I said, I'm absolutely not going to be able to work those days. Not to mention, y'all gave me them days off. So then she responds to me like saying this right here. Oh, Sheila, hospital policy, we're going to be short. And hospital policy is that if it's your weekend, you're going to have to do a switch with someone. And you're not allowed to use your PTO to cover your weekend days, some shit that goes along that line. So I told her, responded back. This is an email now. We communicating through email at this point. Um, so I said, okay, I'm gonna try to find who I need to find or switch days and see if they can work my days. And I don't care if these were PM shifts or nights, but it cannot be nobody that work morning shifts. I don't do days at all. I don't do no days. I only work PMs and nights. So I said I will try to ask people who work PMs or nights if they can take these days, and I'll pick up shifts that they may have available that I can pick up for them. But I said if no one decides to work these days or switch with me, they're going to be call-ins because I already have plans. They're going to be call-ins. They fucked around and put me back on them days and me not knowing. I just looked at that shit yesterday. Now, what if I didn't look at my schedule though, sis? What if I just, let this shit go by for the whole month of May, damn near the whole month of June, and I just went and did what I was gonna do by going to Chicago. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to Chicago, I'm gonna go out there, have fun or whatever. What if I didn't look at my schedule and the motherfuckers had me on? It would have looked like I did a no call, no show. I shouldn't take that lady. I shouldn't take the lady mouth no more. I was going to retire in 2 months, so I pulled down my pants and told her to kiss my black ass. She told me no because your ass not black, it's yellow. Shaking my head. That's what your boss said to you? Right. No, the fuck. Good morning, Miss Pam. How you doing? I said no. So I said, that I see them this morning, right? Usually they not there. I said it was good for them to be there. This was the good Lord setting this shit up like this right here. I said, oh, I'm finna go speak with them. I'm finna go rapid taste with them real quick. Can I talk to you? Took them right up in the office real quick. I said, listen, I understand y'all go through something with these staff, not showing up, because that is a real life issue. That is. I said, but that shouldn't be something that y'all should be telling me no for, putting me back on the schedule because y'all staff don't come in. I mean, that's not fair to me. That's not fair to me. And that's not even the issue of mine. That's something y'all got to deal with. Because I told him at the end of the day, if I can't find nobody to switch with me, I'm calling in. I'm still calling in. I don't give two Newport shorts. What y'all talking about? I will not be there. That's what I told him, sister. Like, listen, I'm gonna try my best and ask. So I hit up everybody in the little group we got. It's a NA group through your emails. All 50. I hit everybody got that email. I sent that email out to everybody, like anybody who work PMs or nights, because days y'all exempt. I don't want to switch no days with nobody who work day shift. Like I said, they don't get differentials. That's why I don't do days. Not to mention, I'm not a person that needs to be up that early to get my day started for work. Nah, I like PMs because I've always been a person to do PMs because I still can handle business in the morning to do what I need to do before work. And I definitely love nights. So I told anybody who was on PMs or nights, if y'all have days that y'all want to give up and you can work these 2 days, let me know and we can work some out. But see, it's neither here or there because if nobody wants to work, you can't make a motherfucker work. And if nobody wants to pick up, you can't make a motherfucker pick up and can't be mad about it either. You know what I'm saying? So it's still going to be looked at as a call in for me because I got plans. My anniversary is around that time. Me and D going to a conference out there. Like it's shit planned. We got a conference meeting out there. It's around our anniversary time. So we going to just stay in Chicago and spend time there. Listen, you're not fucking it up for me because these people don't know how to come to work. It can't be fucked up for me and the husband because these motherfuckers don't know how to show up. Like, I just don't get it. And then, like I said, when they do show up, you damn half stepping. Like, you half stepping. Your ass MIA. You half stepping. You damn near, you not doing your job. Your nurses hung you down asking you, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do that? Because they don't see it in the system. Like, listen, they don't see it in the software. They don't see no vitals in there. They don't see no sugar levels in there. They don't see shit. Your chart not there. So when they say you don't chart it, you didn't do it. They said if it ain't charted, you didn't do it. If it's not charted, you didn't do it. Yes, she did. I was glad to retire after 25 years. Wow. They said if it's not charted, you cannot say you did it. Okay? They not looking for me on that narrative. You know what I'm saying? And see, I got some understanding ass bosses, and they know that about me. But I did have to keep it real with them. Like, listen, you got some good people that work here, and you got some that's very lazy. This will include NAs and your nurses. But see, y'all got to correct some of this shit. Y'all got to correct some of this shit here. Because if this shit get too out of hand, you're going to start losing good people. You got to correct this shit. And they said that they understand that that's a problem. Because not just me. Not just me. They're not just hearing that just from me. I'm going to keep on complaining. I don't give a fuck where the fuck I'm working at. I don't give a damn where the fuck I'm working at. If I work with some lazy motherfuckers, I'm gonna talk about they ass there. Like, you need to do this and do that because listen, your nurse is hunting me down. I got my own set of people to do. They can't find you, so I'm also doing your work. You're gonna have to get to work. You're gonna have to get up on your shit. Y'all not finna burn me out because I'm one of them motherfucking people that give a fuck about people and don't want people waiting so long because y'all motherfucking people got these people waiting so long. They need to be assisted to, attended to. Y'all not finna burn me like that. Not to mention, I do pick up for you motherfuckers often, but again, I love the good money. Not only do I love what the fuck I do, because I definitely love what the fuck I work and definitely love what the fuck it is I do, but I love that good pay. And maybe the motherfuckers may feel like, oh, they new to the motherfucking field, so they not really making what they not making what I'm making. That's for sure. See, I'm what you call a good veterinarian. But I'm a good vet. I'm gonna make this kind of money anywhere the fuck I go, because you got to pay me based off experience level. So it don't even matter where the fuck I go to and what medical or healthcare establishment I go in. The good money that I'm making right now, everybody got to pay me that wherever the fuck I go or better. You got to start me off with what I got now or better, because see, my credentials said so. My credentials and experience level said so. So I can't be paid less than that. And I'm not settling for shit less than that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not settling for nothing less than that, because see, I know my qualities and capabilities. So I'm not settling for less than that. But you motherfuckers need to come to work. It ain't that much motherfucking problems in the world now. True, like I said, people got issues going on in their life. That's facts, because we all have them. We all got them. It's sometimes where it just be case of emergencies happen. You know what I'm saying? Whether that happened with an emergency in your family, if you drive your vehicle, you got sick, you know what I'm saying, to where you don't come to work, because that's another thing that a lot of the motherfucking people, the jobs think that you're supposed to do, baby. I don't go no motherfucking word sick. If I don't feel good, where the fuck am I gonna present myself at work or at school and shit like that when you not feeling good? You putting all them people you work around in harm's way, being sick and your patients. Like, I don't do shit like that. That's what you get sick time for. Use it. When you don't feel good, you ought to stay your ass at home. But you can damn near pick up like patterns with people. You know what I'm saying? In the way that they used to call, in the way that they call in. Like I said, some of these people are so atrocious with the way that they call off work. They do that more than one time in the week. They do that more than once in a week. And it's just like, goddamn, why don't y'all come to work? What kind of fun is you think you're going to have when you don't have no money to do fun activities with? That shit costs. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't free. Sure, it is some free activities you can do. But shit, if you want to have yourself a great time doing some bullshit, you're going to have some money. So that means you motherfucker people going to have to show up for work. That's just what that means. You got to come to work. But they got me fucked up, sis. And everybody on the live, I'm just gonna say that right now. Because I'm still on June 27th going to celebrate my anniversary in Chicago. Okay. Me and my husband may do one night overnight thing, because I will have to work that Saturday if I don't find nobody else to do what I'll do Saturday. Cause I'm off Sunday and Monday. We can simply just go right back. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to Chicago tomorrow, so I'm going for a party. You know, my in-laws having a party, so I'm going to a party. I work tonight. I'm getting off work tonight. Me and a hubby gonna head out. We gonna head out about what, 10? Because you know I gotta come home, get myself together. You know, get showered up, change clothes, and things like that. And we not overnight in Chicago, but you know we gonna go there for a party. But we did plan to be overnight in Chicago for our anniversary. That's what we planned. It's just that certain things that these jobs do, it kind of be like, huh? That shows y'all that they don't. These jobs really just do not be giving a motherfucking care in the world. That's for sure. Everybody is damn sure replaceable on your job for real. I don't give a damn if you got a motherfucking career. Your ass still replaceable if you still working for somebody. You better have your own shit. You better be your own CEO, entrepreneur of your own, because your ass, as long as you punching somebody else's clock, your ass is damn sure replaceable. Okay. You damn sure is replaceable on the job. But see, when you work with people that kind of like it's very understanding and cool, that's all always a plus too. That's what I like about my two supervisors there. That's what I like. And then some more shit happened. I want to say the day before yesterday. I seen a lady, because I go down to the cafeteria when before I leave. I go to the cafeteria every day for breakfast. If I don't have nothing else that they serve there, because see, they got to do better with night shift selection at the cafeteria. Our selection is garbage. See, days and PMs got the better selection with meals. We get the shit that just be crap. You know what I'm saying? We get the crap bullshit. They got to do better with what they actually put down in the cafeteria for us night shift people. You got to do better. So I save my appetite for the morning. So I go down to have breakfast every morning to grab me breakfast, even if I'm just bringing that shit home. Because again, my husband got to be at work. So I seen this one lady, right? And she was a social worker. So I stopped her. I said, good morning, ma'am. Let me ask you, what does your job detail in here in this hospital as a social worker? She ran it down to me, right? I said, okay. That sounds like some shit I was doing when I worked in mental health. All right. So check this out though. This is how I know this was also a guy set up Sunday. Okay. So I seen the social worker. Okay, we both came down together to the cafeteria and I just started talking to her, asking her about what kind of duties she do in the hospital, similar to what I was doing in mental health. Okay. So then she told me that I got my shit and I'm getting ready to go. So guess what I see? I seen my old boss when I first started there. I seen my old boss Deb, right? Now check this out. If this one connecting the dots for me, I said, hey, Deb. She was like, Sheila, you're here. You're still here. I said, yeah, I came back. I said, I left and came back in 24. She was like, well, I'm not on 9LM anymore. I said, I know. I know you're not there anymore. She was like telling me what she do. So she's the head lady of all case managers in the hospital. I said, oh, wow. I said, do you know what I left to do when I left here? I said, I left to do case management full time because I went to school to get my degree in health and human services to be a case manager. I said, I just spoke with a lady down in the cafeteria and asked her what is her job details as a case manager here in the hospital. Now, Deb is my old boss. When I first started, she was the unit manager on my unit that I work for. I told her that I was interested in applying for something in case management in the hospital. Do you know I already got the plug? Do you know I already got the plug? I ran into that case manager and then I ran into the head honcho, which was my old boss when I first went there and started there. She's now in the head honcho over all case managers and social workers in the hospital. I told her that I was in school for that. I got my degree for that. She told me what to do. And she gonna pull me. And do you think I not came home and did it? Yup. Do you think that I not come home and do it? I sure did. That was just 2 days ago when I was leaving. Cause I said inquiring minds want to. I want to know, shit. Do they do something similar than what I was doing when I was working with mental health? And it's a similar shit. And I ain't got a. The difference about it is that I love about it is that I don't have to use my mileage in my car to travel from one place to the next. I'm dealing with specifically patients in the hospital. So all I'm doing is walking from, and I'm gonna be assigned to a unit. I'm gonna be assigned to a unit as a case manager and work with all of those patients up on that unit as to if these people need to be placed, if these people need outside resources when they discharge and stuff. That's the kind of shit I was doing in mental health. That's the same kind of shit I was doing in mental health as a case manager. So I seen a case manager, asked that lady what she do as far as her jobs, and she told me the same thing Deb told me. And then I ran into Deb, not knowing that she's the head honcho over all case managers, not knowing that she's the head honcho, and that's my first supervisor. I must still look the same to these people. Besides the fact that she did tell me, well, Sheila, you look a little slimmer. She told me that I look slimmer. That's it. Hey sis, I don't know if you remember this story. You remember the story that I went on my personal page and told about another nurse when I first started at that hospital. The nurse that she thought she was finna handle somebody rough, but ended up getting told off in a professional manner to where that lady read me a letter, apology letter. Do you remember that live that I did on my personal page? Her name was Kathy. Do you know she don't even work on 9LM no more. She don't even work over there no more. She a float nurse. So she floated to the unit that I'm currently on. I said, "Do you remember me?" I said, "Hey, Kathy, you remember me?" She was like, "Yes, I do remember you." She was like, "You're back?" Cause yeah, she was the unit manager when I left. She was a unit manager when I left the first time. She was a unit manager, but she was somebody I had to put in her place. Okay. Because she was a charge. She was a unit manager, but she did not know how to talk to people. So she didn't like the conversation of her and me. What we had, she didn't like how that shit left off. When I came back in for nights, I had one of my nurses handing me an envelope. I kid you not. She handed me an envelope and it had Kathy's name on it to Sheila. I said, "What's this?" She was like, "Oh, Kathy wanted me to give you this because she said she didn't really like how you guys' conversation left off earlier." I said, "I spoke with Kathy earlier." I opened that shit up. It was an apology note. That lady apologized to me. She didn't like how I told her off because it's not about what you be saying, honey. It's really about how you say it. You know what I'm saying? Not really so much about what you say, how you say, because you ain't gonna tell me to do shit. You can ask me to do something, but you're not gonna tell me to do a damn thing. So she didn't like how I had to put that ass in check in a professional way. I know a lot of you motherfucking people may not think that midnight have that professionalism in her, but you best to believe I do. You best to believe I got that shit in me. Got it in me so swell and well that when I brought my ass back to work, I was giving a motherfucking envelope with a motherfucker writing me an apology letter. I showed that shit to my motherfucking live. I'm gonna have to go back on my personal page and I'm gonna reshare that shit over here, y'all. I seen her. I seen her just yesterday. She floated over on my unit where I currently work as a nurse. I don't hold no ill will. So I said, "Hey Kathy, how you doing? You remember me?" She was like, "Yes, I remember you. You're back?" I said, "Yeah, I'm back." Girl, bye. I know how to tell it. Yep, I was working 4 days. And the day that I didn't have transportation, they took off without letting me know. She told me after the fact. And so I get excited when it's a day I don't work. And they call me or text me asking me, do I want to work? Okay, because you like that good money. Girl, no. Most establishments like hospitals don't. Motherfuckers too big for that. I wish they did. How you doing, Miss Tess? Good morning, midnight, and everyone. Enjoy your day and have a safe Mother's Day. That's the same to everybody on here as a mother. Mother figures. I'm not not just mothers, and I'm not talking just mothers. I say if you are a mother figure, because you know you got some mother figures out here. You can't just discredit mothers figures. Okay, so these may be people who don't have children, but they have raised somebody else's children, or these are women who are influential to somebody else's child. You know what I'm saying? So they are motherly figures, so they get respected too. You know what I'm saying? On Mother's Day, it's about great mothers and motherly figures, and even some of y'all men, because you know how a lot of women like to take credit for being a daddy and a mama. Well, you got some daddies out here that is daddy and mama too. You got some men out here that's doing that role. They portray the role of a mother and a father to their children because the mother's nowhere in sight. Okay? The mother's nowhere to be found. She been lost. Okay? And so the man had been having a hard time trying to teach his little girl womanly things because it's certain things that a man can't teach a girl. So he had to go find a motherly figure for her to give her advice, because as a man, you won't be able to teach your child about her cycle or what kind of symptoms to look for in a cycle when it come on. You need a woman to be in her ear on that. But if you are a single father, you have to have somewhat of a womanly figure around your daughter to give her that kind of advice and to give her that word, that heads up. Vice versa with single mothers trying to raise boys. A lot of single mothers really can't understand the just of a boy. So you want to find somebody who's almost like a fatherly figure or a mentor, somebody who can advise you and advise your son as a single mother, or you're right, a single mother, to bring your son up in the right way. So it works that same way. You know what I'm saying? That same way. Y'all know what I'm saying about these whack ass jobs and how they be acting sometimes. You already know this is true. Okay. If your ass work. Good for you, midnight. It is good for you to know people. Oh, hell yeah. I said that was none but good God. That was none but God. Because I had no idea I was finna run into that. I had no, she was right in the hall. And she was chopping it up with some other people. I just stood back and waited till she got through because I wanted to speak to her. I was excited to see her. That's my first supervisor when I first came to the hospital. She was my boss. She was my unit manager. That was my boss. I waited till she got through. I waited till she got through talking. Then I ran up to her and gave her a high. I said, "Hey, Dad." She was like, "Sheila, you still here?" I had to tell her that I ended up leaving and coming back. I told her what I ended up leaving for. I told her I was a full-time student when I still worked on the unit. I was also in school from this time to that time. And then I left to do case management full time and ended up coming back here. She said, "Wow." She said, "Well, I'm not on the unit anymore." And she told me what she do. She's the head honcho over all case managers in there. How you doing, Augusta? She told me what to do. I got the plug already. I already got the plug. I came home and did that. And still gonna keep this as nights. Cause I'm in one building. So honey, guess what? When she pulled me, I'm still gonna work nights, boo, and I'm gonna just go from my floor to doing what the fuck I do over there as a case manager. And she could simply assign me to the unit that I work on. That would be sweet. Now, wouldn't that be sweet if you actually just assign me to the unit that I'm currently on to work with those people? getting them extra resources upon discharge and shit like that, getting them rehabilitation centers if they need to heal up and it takes longer to where they can be in the hospital, so they need to be in a rehabilitation center or something like that. That will be what I'll be doing: referrals, talking to doctors, and doing stuff like that. Some of the same shit I was doing when I was in mental health. So I'm already knowledgeable about it. And I said, if that one God Himself letting me know that, listen, if you want to get back off into the case, because ultimately I am going to get back into case management. That's why I'm in school for my nurse's degree. I want to work as an RN's case manager. And then, like I said, listen, I just found out that she's the head of all of that shit. So I'm I'm in good graces already. I'm damn sure in a good place. I'm in a good place already. And I definitely love the hospital. I definitely love that environment. Of course. I love to take care of people. That's just what the fuck I love doing. Why y'all think I went back to it? Why y'all think I ultimately chose a career of when I chose to go to school? I still chose something to service people. As a health and human service worker of science, because that's my degree, health and human services of science. As a health and human service worker of science, this is why I don't have to take so many courses in nursing, because a lot of those credits that I took in health and human services is going to roll over and it counts. So a lot of that shit in nursing I didn't have to do. Um, but a health and human service worker and a case manager, they still serve people and they still take care of people. They definitely do. Why you think I still stuck in that lane of work? Because I know that's where my purpose lies and that I know that's where I'm great at. That's why I always go back to something like that. It will never be something outside of that. It have to be something where I'm catering to people or where I'm taking care of people. It have to be in that narrative. But that's just my purpose for real. That's why. A lot of people told me, man, Nene, or man, Sheila, you should have got your nurse's degree a long time ago. And you probably right. But like I said, I don't have no regrets on what it is I went to school for, because I'm in school now for my nurse's degree. I'm still young. I'm only 42 years of age. By the time I'm 45, I have my degree. I've been had my degree and I've been worked in the field already as a registered nurse. So, it ain't nothing to it but to do it. I don't have no regrets and nothing that I ever chose to do in life. None. Because it's never too late. As a matter of fact, when I was in school, it was one of my classmates was 60 years old. I was very amazed to see that he was 60 years old and in college. And the reason why I'm saying that, not because I think, okay, he waited till he's 60. No, that wasn't it. I was amazed that he was 60 years old in college, because he did not let his age stop him from accomplishing what he wanted to do, whether he was 60 or not. He was 60, so he was the oldest classmate we had, but that man was 60 and he was in school obtaining his health and human service degree. I was definitely amazed, not shocked, because you can do anything that you want to do. I don't care. Success don't have no age gap to it. Okay. Success don't have no age gap to it, and neither do going back to school. It has no age gap to it. Who said that you have to be a certain age to constantly go to school, or you can't go to school if you're this age? That's a lie. I definitely was very amazed that he's continued to further his education at 60. That's what I was amazed by. And he didn't let that stop him, because most people will probably look at his age and say, now, why you go back to school at 60 years old? Why not? Why not? Why not? I say, why not? And definitely told them, I am so amazed that you did not let people of society make you think that you're too old to go back to school because you're 60. I'm so glad you didn't let that narrative stop you. I had to tell them. You know what I'm saying? Because see, the people that I went to school with, although I did on school online, I went to school online because I worked full time, and then at that time I was still volunteering for the Red Cross as a recovery disaster case manager. Let's keep that in mind. So let me tell you this: I feel like I am a superwoman. I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. And whatever I put my mind to, because trust me, I'm a mother, I'm a motherfucking wife. I had a full-time job. I was volunteering full-time as a recovery disaster case manager. I was in school full-time. And I found time to do all of those things. And still found time to do for me in between. So you can't tell me that whatever you set yourself in your mind to do, that you're not going to complete it. See, we have a lot of excuses as to why we don't choose to do things, but you really didn't want to do those things that bad. That just means you didn't want to do those things that bad or that tough. Because if you did, you would have did it. If you wanted to really fulfill everything that you have on the list to fulfill of tasks to do, you would do it. The things that you cannot get to or the things that you did not do, it's because you did not want to do those things that much or that bad. Because guaranteed and granted, if you wanted to do it, it would have been completed. Trust and believe me. A lot of people ask me, damn, Nene, how you do that? Because I made time to do it and I really, really, really wanted it. I was so glad that I got that opportunity with the American Red Cross. When they picked me to be a volunteer, because you still got to do an application process and all of that, you still got to go through a lot of in-service and videos and tests with them. When they chose me to do volunteering as a case manager and I wasn't even out of school yet, that's where the bulk of my experience came from, you all. It was from doing volunteer work with the American Red Cross. As to I'm going back, I was so happy. I was so glad. So glad. Them folks love me. My supervisor that I had to report to, her name was Sheila. Her name was Sheila as well. Yep. But that's where the bulk of my case management experience came in, through the American Red Cross. I was still a full-time student in school obtaining my degree. I hadn't even finished school yet. They gave me the opportunity because I'm in school. And they gave me the opportunity because they seen my grades. Don't y'all know I damn near left school with a 4.0 GPA? I could show my transcript right now. That shit gonna say 3.9. That shit going I had nothing but straight A's, 1B. No cap. I'm talking about on the dean's list, 3 semesters in the motherfucking roll. And that last semester was the honor roll because I got a B in my math class. But if I had got an A in that math class, everything else, I aced that shit with A's. Everything else on my transcript got an A right on it. I'm going to show that shit to y'all. Everything else, I score A's in. My math class, I got a B in. If there was an A, I would have left school perfectly with a 4.0 GPA. I stayed in the dean's list 3 semesters back to back to back to back. And when I got that A in my math class, that took me down from the dean's list to an honor roll. But I left school with a 3.9 GPA. I left there with a 3.9 GPA. Baby, I was so in tune in that psychology and sociology I was in tune with that shit. I was in tune with that because let me tell y'all some shit that I've been watching prior to me deciding to go back to school. I always like to get inside the mind of a person and what he or she thinks, because this is what I used to be watching. And this is where I got a lot of psychology studies and all of that from. I used to watch shit like In the Mind of a Serial Killer and shit like that. Because I would always like to think what makes people do what people do. That always been something that I was intrigued with. Like what make people behave in manners that they behave, man. So I always used to watch stuff that had to do with psychology or sociology, things that got to do with the way you think in your head, your brain, because it is the study of the mind. That's all sociology is. It's the study of your brain. That's it. I was always into that. You know what I'm saying? I was always into stuff like that. So I will watch that. You know what I'm saying? I will watch stuff like that just to analyze a person's behavior or listen and analyze little signs and symptoms in people, analyze maybe the way that they grew up or their upbringing. That's always been something I was always into. So when I got into sociology for real and psychology for real, I was able to breeze through that shit like this. This is why I left school with the grades that I left. And this is why I'm doing great right now. You know how many motherfucking people said to me, because I think this is discouraging to me when you say this to people. You shouldn't say this to people because some people may take your line of advice and get discouraged. But see, I know better. I know better. So a person can say this to me and it's still not going to discourage me. But I don't think that people should say this to people. When a person decides to go to school, don't say, oh, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, because it's not going to be tough. School is what you make it. School is what you make it. School is what you make it for you. Your pattern of learning is not going to be the same as mine. Mine is not going to be the same as yours. But school is what you make it for you. But when you tell people stuff like that, like, oh, I damn near didn't make it through nursing school, or I damn near didn't do this, or I damn near flunked out of this, you might be discouraging some people along the lines. You shouldn't say shit like that. But see, I know better that can't discourage me, because I already know school is what I make it for me. Not your experience, but what I make it for me, and solely for me. The reason why people get overwhelmed with things is because you put too much on your plate. You put too much on your plate. See, the things that I want to do for me, that's not overwhelming for me. That's not too much on my plate, honey. But that may have been too much for you. So your experience can't be the same as mine. Mine's is not going to be the same as yours. But school is all of what you make it. That's what it is. Anything that you do is what you make it. That's what you make it. If you make it hard, you take your focus off of what you're supposed to be focusing on, you're going to struggle. But school is what you make it. School is what you make it. It don't got to be tough. It don't got to be overwhelming. It's what you make it. Because, see, I ain't having no problem with it. I ain't having no motherfucking issues. So when people say that, I already know better in my motherfucking mind that sometimes that could be a line of discouraging somebody. Because, see, you're going to tell that to somebody that may take your line of advice, and they may cop out because of what you said to him or her and how your experience made it hard for you. You telling them your experience might scare them, and they may feel like that's going to be their experience when it's really not, because school is what you make it. It's definitely what you make it. How you doing, Miss Hashima? It's tough for the motherfucker that said it. That's right. That's their journey. You can't stop a go-getter. And that's exactly right. And this is why I don't like when I don't say that to people. If this is something that you want, you're gonna sweat blood, fear, tears, blood, sweat, and tears for it. But it ain't gotta be hard. That don't mean because you crying tears of joy because you accomplished something. It could be tears of joy, tears of oh I made it, tears of oh I did it. But just because you had a journey that was hard for you, and you telling somebody else that, you may discourage him or her. This is why I don't tell them that, because school is what you make it for you, and that may look different for you and I. It's not gonna look the same. A strong-minded individual don't give no fuse of what anybody else has to say. Facts. And that's why I don't. Miss Hashiba. I just go ahead and let them make the statement. But that don't mean that that shit going in one ear and out the other. Because, honey, it's not going to be hard for me. It's not hard for me now. School is what you make it to be for you. And that's what anything that the hell you do, anything you choose to do, it's what you make it. If you make things hard for yourself, it's going to be hard. If you take focus off things that you supposed to be having your focus on, you're going to be overwhelmed. It's what you make it. So when people say shit like that, I hear you, but I don't hear you. I hear you, but I don't hear you at the same time. I hear you, but then I don't hear you because that's not my motherfucking story. That's not me. That's not my experience with school. That's not my story. I love getting educated. I love to read. I love to research. I love to do. That's what I love. It's not hard for me. No, it's not. As a matter of fact, it's the total opposite. I find fulfillment and enjoyment in doing so. And my grades and GPA showed that, boo. I'm talking about it showed that. It's showing right now. My GPA and my grades showed you that shit wasn't hard for me. Because it's what I made it. I made it work for me. I know how to use time management very well in everything I do. She said it's a Pisces thing, baby. Well, I guess so, because you know them Pisces, when we put our mind to something, we driven. That's one thing about it. We driven individuals. You can't take that from us. I'm just saying, you can't take that from nobody that set their mind to doing something he or she want to accomplish. You can't take that from them. That's something you cannot take them. You can't take that from them. Now they can allow a motherfucker to take it from them if they allow a motherfucker to take them off their square, take them off the prize. I had my eyes on the prize, honey. I was in the race for the real big win and got there. I got my eye on the prize right now for the big medal, and I'm gonna get it. Trust and believe me. I got my eye on the prize. Okay, I'm on a journey, and my eye on the prize only. That's the advice I'm giving to somebody who second guessing themselves because somebody then gave you some advice to scare you. Because I know that what happened with some individuals. This is why you want to be careful about who you take advice from. I'm sorry. We don't care if this is your family, friends, or whomever. Be careful of the people you take advice from. Because, see, that's almost somebody discouraging you when they say stuff like that to you. Now, somebody else will say, well, how is that discouraging? Because that story don't mean just because it was hard for you that it's going to be hard for him or her. No, that don't. That's your story. It was hard for you for your own reasons, whatever that was. But telling other people that will be almost discouraging to somebody else. You got to be able to handle what you put in your life and what you handle, what you put on your plate. You, and you control that That's your life. You control what you have on your plate. If it's too much, start dumping shit off. Okay. You can start dumping that shit off and play process of elimination by eliminating certain shit that you don't want on your plate. But if you're adding too much to your plate, you overwhelming your damn self at this point. So you kind of made it hard for yourself. That's my line of advice to whomever got something in their head to do, to accomplish, to set out to complete. But you didn't got some advice from somebody and they have given you some advice, and it may be because of who the person was that gave you the advice. But just don't let people live through you. You have to live for you. You don't let other people live through you. You have to live for you. It's only going to be hard if you make it hard. It's only going to be overwhelming if you make it that way. It doesn't have to be that way, though, is what I'm saying. You're so right about managing your plate. Don't let your cup run over. Goals, plans, actions equal great outcomes, okay? Time management and proper planning goes a long way, and don't it? And as we all know, right? So no, don't let them discourage you in that manner and then in that order, okay? Whatever you set out to do, you can do. Go ahead and do it. And don't let nobody take you off focus of doing it either. Mm-mm. Don't do it. But that's always been something, an interest of mine, is psychology and sociology. To study of the mind, the study of the brain. Okay? That's all that is, people. I've always wondered what makes a motherfucking person do what they do. What, when, why, and where. What, when, why, where. As to why people do what they do. Behave the way that they behave to such extreme measures. Okay? I've always wondered that. That's always been something that interests me. Always. And still do. That's why I watch stuff like that. I'm into documentaries. I'm into things that's based off actual events. Those are called documentaries. I've been into stuff like that and I'm still in tune with it. I'm strongly in tune with things based off actual events. Yes, I am. So that's my word of advice. For you people who work like me and y'all work too, you can't let the job be the thing to overwhelm you neither, okay? Because as I said, we replaceable folks, okay? You gonna always be a replaceable individual unless you are a CEO of your own, an entrepreneur of your own shit, your own business. Some shit that you run the rules and you create the rules, you make the rules, you hire, you fire. Listen, as long as you are punching a clock for someone else, you're replaceable. I know that. So then what that mean? Oh, you got to get up and try to get some and make some shake of your own, become your own CEO and become your own business owner eventually, where you call the shots, right? Yeah. I definitely have to let them know, like, listen, I know you telling me what you telling me, but it's still gonna be, I'm not gonna be there. I'm sorry. I celebrate my anniversary. That's a holiday for me and my husband. You know what I'm saying? That's a memorable day for me and my husband, and this is our 5th year. I can't even believe it's been already 5 years. Me and my husband got married in a smack dab in the middle of the pandemic. We got married in June of 2020. Okay, right in the middle of the pandemic. Okay, we up on 5 years in June and counting. Okay, so I dare not jeopardize celebrating my anniversary with my husband as I deserve to, and so is he. And I'm not. Okay, I said I'm not. You all having those staff issues, and that's pretty much universal because one thing about the healthcare field is that's always been a field of a bad turnover rate. And it pretty much does not matter where you work. You always deal with being short staffed. Okay, you always deal with those group of people that choose not to show up for work for a lot of different reasons. Like I said, they do that because they got a little bit of tax money, so they stop coming in because that money looks good to them. All that money they see, it looks good to them at one wop, honey. They forget that they got a job. They stop coming. When the weather tends to break, some of you all live in places where you get nice weather year round. So I don't know what that may be for you all. But see, when they do it here, as often as they do it, the weather is breaking. A lot of seasons are changing. There's a lot of events upcoming, a lot of concerts that you want to attend, a lot of festivals you want to go to. You just want to be out in the streets. They do it for those reasons too. Everybody want to be summertime fun and just kicking it. Yeah, they do it for that too. That's not your problem though. That ain't even your boss's problem. That's those folks' problem. But see, the bosses can do something about it. And that's where the lack come in where a lot of the bosses, a lot of them not, first of all, understanding. First of all, they not understanding people. They not good listeners. See, this is why I'm glad I got the kind of bosses that I got because see, I had a nice long chop up session with mines this morning. Both of them. And they definitely are some great listeners. They definitely received all of the output that I gave them today. They assured me of some things that's going to be changing that they're already putting in the mix. They did a lot of that. And I'm glad that I got those kind of bosses. But still, even with those kind of bosses, I still know that I'm replaceable. I punch a clock for somebody, so I'm replaceable, such as everybody else who punch a clock. We replaceable people. So that's out of your control. But a lot of us, a lot of times we are punished for that because a lot of y'all can't take vacations when you want to because y'all short staff. A lot of y'all are being denied your days you want to be off. Same shit. You know what I'm saying? It'd be the same shit. You are being denied vacation days that you want to take. You are being denied those kind of things because of the staff issues that a lot of these places have. And that's where it's not fair. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's not fair at. That people have to feel almost punished because those people choose not to come to work or those people choose not to do their job the way it needs to be done. So now, and then those people who work real hard, they not gonna let you burn them out because they work ethics are strong and then you see that lack in somebody else. They not gonna let you burn them out. They not gonna let you burn them out. They just not. So that's the live, you all. That is the live. Make sure you all share the live. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back, y'all. Hopefully, I can find this live in my I know it's there. It's on my personal page. I'm gonna share this live over here, or I'm gonna share that part of the live. Okay, I'm gonna screen record that part of the live. And I'm gonna share it, or maybe I can download it because I don't know if Facebook only do that with platforms of business platforms, but are they deleting lives on personal pages as well in 30 days? But I think those lives that were made prior to the rule is going to be able to stay. Anything after the rule, the new implemented rule, they delete after 30 days. So if you did lives, because that's an old live, you all. But I'm gonna go back and get it. I'm gonna go back and get it, show y'all that yes, yes, indeed. I'm gonna keep being boisterous and vocal like I do, because that's not always such a bad thing, individuals and people. Don't let nobody make you feel like because you vocalize what you appreciate from people and what you don't appreciate from people. Don't make people make you seem like you're complicated because you do shit like that. You're not a complicated individual. A lot of people cannot respect a person who's vocal as you, or somebody who's vocal as me. But they have no choice but to respect it. They have no choice but to respect that. But don't make nobody feel like you problematic because you do shit like that. You're not. And if they feel like you problematic, oh well, that's just how they feel. But that don't make you problematic because you speak your mind. Wheresoever did that make a motherfucking person problematic? Because he or she expresses herself and speak their mind. That don't make you problematic. And who made that up? Who came up with that narrative on top of that? That's a problematic individual because he or she speak their mind. You supposed to be able to speak your mind. Ain't that what you're supposed to be doing? So don't let that be something that people make y'all think that you're confrontational, you're problematic, um, you somebody that most people can't work with, can't reason with. That's not it. Don't let people do that to you. Mm-mm. I'ma just simply show you the kind of results you get when you still be remain professional, actually telling somebody about themselves and then how they treat you and how they move forward with you. The shit do work and it do change. Trust and believe me. If you've ever done that in your motherfucking life, you already know I ain't talking with no motherfucking lies detected. If you've ever had to tell a person that you work with or somebody that you didn't work with, a friend, family, I don't care what it was, an associate, a child, if you've ever had to tell somebody about themselves in a way to where you got different results of how they start treating you, you know the fuck is true. It's definitely true. I'm going to show you that I did it so many times in the workplace. Okay. And I'm going to continue to do it in the workplace because I do know how to still get my point across in a professional manner to where I'm going to make you think about what I said to you. And that's all this is going to prove to you right here is that when I got that letter, that lady thought about what I said to her when I left. Okay. When I left, when we left off with that convo, what I said to her made that lady go in her head as to why she wrote me that apology letter. Okay. I had her in her head. Because now you got to go into yourself and self reflect now on the way that you actually talk to numerous of people. And see, it's just you came across one that you're not going to make cry. You came across one that's just not going to accept your crap. You came across one that's going to actually tell you about yourself in a manner you need to be told in, and you're going to receive it and you're going to feel it. Feel it so much to where you writing me apology letters. Okay? Just like that. I'm finna go get that for you. I'm gonna die that way. Okay? I'm gonna die that ain't something that God want me to change about myself. Are you kidding me? The good Lord do not want to change those characteristics he gave me. I got a strong head. I got a strong mind. He do not dare want me to change no characteristics such as none of that about me. And won't. I know what flaws I need to change about myself, but that ain't it. That ain't it. That's not one. That ain't it. Hell, that's not one of them. You don't think he gave this to me for me to let this be something I don't use and let it go to waste? I don't think so. That's not what he want me to stop doing. And I'm not. I'm not. I just know my rights as a person on all fronts when it comes to so many different things. Because I do too much reading. I do too much reading and researching, so I know a lot about a lot of shit. I know a lot about a lot of things, and that's not one of them. Okay, that's not one. That's not one that I'm looking to change either. I love that about me. Okay, I love that about me solely. I love that about me. Most can't stand that about me, but that's just because you don't have the galls to have a backbone to do what I do. I have a backbone, honey. I'm not a pushover in life. I know my worth and value. This is why I don't deal with certain things that I dealt with when I was younger. Because I know my worth. I know my value. I can't stay in that same situation. I can't be stagnant. I can't be still. I can't be stuck. No, I know my worth. So when you know your worth, you move different. That's just what it is. You move totally different. And if they don't understand the beat to your drum, well, fuck them. You don't try to make motherfuckers understand the rhythm of your drum. Because listen, I'm not finna try to even make a motherfucker understand the rhythm of my drum. You gonna fall in line or not. But even if you don't, guess what? That shit's still drumming at the end of the day. That shit's still drumming. It's still drumming at the end of the day. I'm not finna help a motherfucker understand the rhythm to my drum. I'm just not. Because I understand the rhythm to my drum. That's all that matters. She said, come on now, okay? You stand true to who you are and you supposed to. Exactly. They can't stand it because the truth hurts many people. You're real, 10 toes down, and stand for what's right and not wrong. Okay? I appreciate that. Real recognize real, okay? And you seem to be similar, you seem to be like-minded. You know what I'm saying? You just know when you come across like-minded people. Little do y'all know, it's so many motherfucking people that actually watch me behind the scenes. They be like, yeah, that girl right there, she the truth. That girl right there, I see why a lot of motherfuckers don't like her because she the truth. Man, look at her. Look at them talents over there. Man, look at all that shit that girl got going on over there. Damn, I see. That's what they be saying when they be watching me. That's what they be saying. They be saying shit like that. That's what they be saying. Because you know what I be saying when I see motherfuckers like-minded like me, I say the same shit. Oh, I see why they don't like XYZ. I see why they don't like her. I see why he having so many issues. Look at him. Look at the things he possessed. Look at the way he talk. Look at the way she talk. Look at how they talk. Look at how they think for themselves. Look at how they don't follow no crowd. Look at that. Look at all the talents that they got that they're gonna make work for them. I say the same shit. I say the same shit about people that I watch with brilliant talents, okay? And who are damn sure like-minded, just like me. They strong-minded individuals. I say the same thing. This is how I know they're saying the exact same shit about me. That is the live, you all. Make sure that y'all share the live. Make sure that y'all react to the live. Make sure y'all don't be taking no shit from these jobs, man. You can't let these jobs take you out because guess what? Your ass is replaceable. Okay? You can't let these jobs stress you out. You can't let these jobs make you so sick. You can't let them do that kind of things to you because you replaceable, boo boo. You got to be a CEO and an entrepreneur so you can call the shots, okay? Long as you punching somebody else's clock, you on their time. And shit, they can replace your ass at any time. Know that. This is your girl Midnight. Y'all make sure y'all have a good TGIF Friday. Enjoy yourself on whatever that is you're gonna be doing and be safe doing it. I'll be working. But then I have the weekend and it's Mother's Day weekend. Y'all gonna see me on Mother's Day, okay? So, but still, for some of y'all who may not even be on the internet for Mother's Day, I'm gonna say Happy Mother's Day to mothers, motherly figures, and single fathers who play roles as mothers. I'm not leaving y'all out because see, a lot of women like to take credit for y'all day when they say that they the daddies and the mamas. But you got to understand that it's some men out here pushing that same title and role, honey. It's some men. It's some men out here that been raising their children by themselves and all by themselves alone. So they have to play the role, but they look for motherly figures. You know what I'm saying? To help them raise their little girls while they raise their little boys up. They look for those womanly figures, those mentors, those motherly figures to help them out with their little girls, to get the advice from them. Because again, there is certain things that a man cannot teach a little girl. There is things that a woman cannot teach a little boy. You got to know that that's true. On that note, y'all all be easy and celebrate yourselves. You got to do something for yourself. Matter of fact, somebody should be doing something for you. Matter of fact, somebody should be doing something for you. I don't give a good damn if it is them just going to buy you your favorite fast food, them go buying you your favorite thing to eat, them go buying you flowers if that's what you like. I prefer not to have real flowers. I don't like real flowers. I like artificial plants. But somebody needs to be doing something for you. This is Mother's Day weekend. Mother's Day is on Sunday. So I hope if you're a mother and you're a motherly figure, that somebody is doing something for you, especially if you've been an impact to somebody else and you've been a definite impact on your child and your children. You got to know that. She said, thanks for this. No, thank you. Thank you. Happy Mother's Day to you and the mothers here as well. Same to you. She said they ass replaceable too. Laugh my ass off. I stay pushing that to those that don't exercise their rights. And you got to continue to keep pushing it to them. Because some people just do not know their rights. Some folks don't know their rights, y'all. Some people don't. So we got to keep on letting them know that you do have rights, okay? In the workplace, in your house, with being a tenant. I don't give a damn. You got rights as a homeowner, you know what I'm saying? All of that. You got rights as a citizen, your civil rights. Stop playing. You got to know your rights all around on all fronts. You got to know your rights. On that note, I'm out of here, y'all. Y'all be easy. Peace.